WillyMacShow. John Swan. How lies ruin lives. Incredible. That is so true. What a poet WillyMac is. By the way, if I'm not at the end of this video, then I'm executing you. Okay? Or listen. If I'm not at the end of this video, okay? If I'm not at the end of this video, I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen. Okay, hold on. Bear with me here. This would happen. I'll stop it right before. I better be in that Patreon shout out.
Welcome back to the Commentary Shit Show. I've been in commentary for a long time now, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody's career self-destruct as hard as John Swan's. I don't know what it is with bird YouTubers, but they're really starting to get on my nerves. And that's why I only tolerate one bird on YouTube, and that bird is Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service, and just like how Netflix lets you watch hundreds of TV shows and movies, Scentbird allows you to receive colognes and perfumes from over 600 brands, carrying out...
It's quite literally the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Okay.
Everything from indie labels like Vince Camuto and The Harmonist to top designer brands like Prada, Gucci, and Versace. And
whoa, I love snakes. All right.
Prada, my favorite, tops out with the lady. Whereas the Mercedes-Benz has more of a pear or cedar snipe.
Let me tell you something. He said something about the ladies.
It's sexy. Come on, you know I'm wearing this out with the lady.
Let me tell you something. I can't do it. Let me tell you something. Okay? Girls, you don't need to wear perfume around girls. You don't need to wear any deodorant around girls, okay? You got to shower, clean yourself, but that hint of you're getting rid of your natural pheromones, okay? You shouldn't smell like a sweaty cab driver. If you do, you have a medical problem and you need to seek help, okay? But most of the time, you should be fine. You just shower, I use a nice scented shower wash, but girls like it. You got to get them used to your pheromones. They get addicted to it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Shut the fuck up. I'm right, okay? Shut up. Don't buy this, okay? What we should really be doing is we need to create a perfume based off of my manly musk, but not just based off of it. It needs to have my pheromones in it. Now that will get the ladies, okay? This is what'll happen. You guys you'll buy it. You'll use it, be like, wow, this works. Your girlfriend will fall in love with it. She'll date you. She'll marry you. All of a sudden, you go to a Papa Gut meet and greet. She gets around me. She goes, oh my God. She smells it from the source. All of a sudden, I get all your bitches. That's what's going to happen, bro. That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Here's the Mercedes-Benz, definitely for you. They have these great brochures that come with the product showing you the different ingredients.
All right. What am I going to do, recreate it?
55% off your first month. That's luxury brand dollars. Get rid of those expensive, smell amazing. Thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video. Now,
all right, guys, go buy it, though, I guess. You know what I mean? You got to help a brother out.
Where were we? Oh, yeah, John Swan's self-destruct.
I had a good take. I had a good take.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I have a request. More Froggy Fresh.
You might know John Swan as the guy who lied to Dream and blamed it on his 12-year-old autistic cousin that doesn't exist. Probably the most insane part of that drama was...
Hey, don't try to erase autistic people with autism. That's fucked up, WillyMac.
Him reaching out to Bo Blacks, a YouTuber who openly talks about his autism, to try and get him to validate John's fake story. John talked with me in depth, explaining how the 12-year-old using his Discord was autistic, and exploited my knowledge of autism to craft a false narrative. I hate that.
So I was about to say, I think Bo Blacks has, unironically, autism. Now, if I'm wrong, I look like a real piece of shit, but that's really fucked up. Wow, John is like a fucking mastermind. Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
I was used for that. He was saying stuff like, that's what an autistic person would do, right? They know a lot about technology, but not social stuff.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. That's so fucked up. Holy shit. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing, but this just is killing me. It's so insensitive. It's fucking killing me.
Let me remind you, this escalated to that level because John decided to troll a 15-year-old named Harley by pretending to be Dream. To be honest, I really don't care that John lied about Dream. If anything, it's an interesting lesson on how a small lie can spiral out of control. What I do care about is his continuous malicious behavior, specifically when involving minors. 1 year ago, I made a video criticizing John for his treatment towards Pie Man, a 15-year-old YouTuber who struggled a bit with social issues.
Most, if not all my, close friends are people online.
John decided to call a 15-year-old a pedophile because he was flirting with a girl 3 years younger than him. He was blasting him on Twitter, writing, "How can you control that? Step 1, remove yourself from the internet to ensure that you won't fall."
Wait, so it was a 15 and 12-year-old? I mean, I would say that's not I would say privately, you probably shouldn't. It feels like an inappropriate age, but like, why would you blast somebody on the internet for that? Like, what's the motivation? Probably money, and to try to seem like, dude, this is the problem. People who talk about, a lot of these people who talk about like these types of allegations, they don't care. They're not talking about it because they have like this passion with it. They talk about it because they feel like they can get a good story off of it. That's the most yucky part. Like that, and you could tell, man, that these people, like, they don't really care, you know. And it's such a difficult thing to like substantiate. Because somebody like, you know, somebody that like, oh, maybe let's say somebody calls out, like, the best example is EDP. The people who went after EDP, like, all of them, from what I've seen, were like doing it at a good intention, except for that one Alex Rosen. And it feels like he's just called him out just so that he can bully people, right? And like, we go like, well, pedophiles deserve to be bullied, for sure. But then at the same time, like, that's your motivation, is you just want to be a bully. And it's like, how do you call that out? Right? And that just kind of feels like John Swan doesn't really care. If anything, he's probably excited when he's like, oh my God, somebody might have groomed somebody. Oh, fuck. Holy fuck. I'm so fucking excited. Like, that's the energy that you get out of it. That's what it feels like, at least. I put these in the wrong fucking
for life just gifted one.
Thank you so much. Thank you for cheese balls.
All guilty to the same urges again. Remember, you were being turned on by a literal child. Step 2 is get some kind of therapy or help, because this can't go on, dude. Pie Man was 15. They're both children. John then goes on Pie Man's live stream to guilt the 15-year-old into thinking he did something criminal.
Well, I thought it wouldn't get leaked because I wanted it to not get leaked because I could tell. Out of context,
yes, of course.
it looks
I
really
would
bad.
To get leaked either, Pie Man, because that's really incriminating.
Can you imagine being a teenager and your cringy, flirty messages?
Why would you want to have your cringy, like your messages leaked in general? Like, I don't want my stuff to be leaked, you know? I gotta have you guys pay for it because I'm such a good coach of sexiness. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wouldn't want mine leaked as well.
Leak online, only for your favorite YouTuber to pick it up and start going on a rampage about how you're a pedo. Now, I gave John multiple chances to fix this. First, I DM'd him, which he responded, "I stand by that 100%. I then made a Twitter thread giving him another chance to correct his mistake, where he proudly claimed him and Pie Man worked it out, when in reality, his apology to Pie Man wasn't that genuine. What'd he tell you?
Well, honestly, it wasn't really much of an apology. It was when he said, "Oh, can I post that we've worked things out on Twitter?" And I said, "Sure." I expected him to say something like, "Oh, me and Pie Man talked and we sort of worked things out between us." Okay. But then he said, "Oh, I apologize to Pie Man."
Hey, I think I watched a Pie Man video. I think I watched a Pie Man. It was like it was not bad. It wasn't bad. Okay, cool.
We're all good now and stuff. And I thought, well, saying that you apologized isn't really a fair claim to make. He never apologized for most of the stuff. He just posted on Twitter that he did.
Now, I was really hard on John for all this, hopefully making it clear that this sort of thing was not okay. Well, John hasn't learned his lesson, because 1 year later, John would do the exact same thing. It's beautifully stupid. Let's meet the players. John Swan, a YouTube commentator who continues to get involved in 15-year-olds' love life. Liz, the 15-year-old asking for advice on a relationship. Cammy, the 18-year-old who was in a relationship with Liz. And Taha,
Hold on, let me read. This may be sudden, but I have information on someone that, I don't know, you may have used to be friends with, so I just need advice on this type of thing. I don't know if I got groomed or fucking used. It's so weird. Hopefully I can get some kind of advice. I talked to AY Star. He recommended I get advice from you about this. I want to remain private, and I do not know anyone about this at all. I did not tell anybody about this. Do you know Cam in any way at all? It's just that I just wanted to tell you about it. We possibly did do. So is that their message to John Swan? Because it sounds like they were like, "Oh, somebody told me I might have been groomed," and then they kind of believed it. That's the signal I'm getting. But bro, isn't it so crazy how these things work? Where nowadays young dumb fuck people can tell you, because of the word grooming has become the magic buzzword. It's superfood. It's like blueberries, avocado, grooming. What do these things have in common? Superfruits. Is avocado a fruit? I don't know. It doesn't matter. You get my point. Nowadays, but like other dumb kids that don't know anything about life can tell you that you've been, taken advantage of in some capacity. And that's all it takes is slightly older, just as dumb people to be like, "Yeah, you're right," who have no life experience, that have never experienced anything. It's crazy.
15-year-old asking for advice on a relationship, Cammy, the 18-year-old who was in a relationship with Liz, and haha, yeah, another 15-year-old John put in charge of writing a grooming document against Cammy. On the 17th of April, Easter Sunday, a document was dropped by the account haha, yeah, featuring a grooming allegation between Cammy and Liz. It was titled A Message from Liz. And I remember just reading the first few paragraphs and getting some serious whiplash by how quickly the tone changes. I'll make this clear right now. He knows my age. He even asked for my birthday. Now remember, this is a 3-year age gap. I don't think most people would think that's predatory, but
It's not. It doesn't matter what you think. If you think that, you're wrong and dumb, okay? Now, you could think it's a little uncomfy, and you could advocate to change that. That's fine, but it's not predatory. Stop. Okay? It's annoying. You're embarrassing. Okay? Stop being so annoying and embarrassing.
I'm glad he's checking the age. That's very responsible. He asked me if I turned 16 this year, and I said yes. I was really happy about me and him having birthdays in the same month. After I got happy, he called me cute, which made me flustered, because I told him I get flustered easily, which made him think that was cute. So the age difference is only 3 years, down to the exact month. Cammy, the older one, is asking all the right questions to make sure this is appropriate, and Liz is happy. So what's the problem? Well, listen to the tone.
Is Liz's name Lizard? Wow.
Shift in this next paragraph. Cam used me for his own sexual pleasure when I was in a vulnerable state. He knew what he was doing was wrong, comparing his actions.
Which state is that? Florida? What a terrible place to live.
To those of people who have been canceled in the community. Oh dear God, yeah, because the YouTube community has an outstanding track record when it comes to this sort of stuff.
It's a hard knock life
True.
for us. It's a hard knock life for us.
Now this does.
Wait, what was the James Charles one? Was James Charles innocent? I feel like some of the allegations were unfounded, but I don't think that makes him like innocent. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about this? I feel like I'm not, though. I'm never wrong, so I can't be wrong. I think that some of them were like faked on TikTok, but okay.
Does seem confusing. Luckily, Liz did upload screenshots of their conversations. And honestly, it just seems like normal high school relationship stuff. With Cammy even asking if she's comfortable with what's happening multiple times.
Life for us.
Now this does seem
Let's
confusing.
see what they say.
Luckily, Liz did upload screenshots of their conversations. And
What are you doing? Cooking. What are you making? Burritos and rice and beans. Sounds tasty. Yeah, shame I can't
honestly,
have
it just
some.
seems like
Oh, you want to shove it in my pussy? Oh, that's inappropriate because she's 15.
normal high school relationship.
Sounds like it would taste good.
With Cammy-
Well, yeah, it would. Do you want to continue what we're doing? Hee hee, ha hee hee. Yes, fantastic.
Even asking if she's comfortable with what's happening multiple times. Now, I don't want to show too much because it's embarrassing for anyone, let alone 2 teenagers, to have this sort of thing leak. But the question is why? Why did Liz feel like she had to make a document? Why did she want to go after Cammy? Well, if you read the title of this video, you probably got a good idea. John Swan, after the documents released, was immediately posting pre-prepared memes about Cammy, one comparing him to Jeffrey Epstein. Aiden Projects, a 16-year-old, would also leak that John was hyping up news of the doc, dropping in Discord, writing, "Fuck, everyone's asleep. I have the biggest bombshell ever in the history of bombshells." Aiden responded, trying to get the intel.
The biggest cock that you've ever seen. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
John replied with, "I'm telling people directly involved. You are not directly involved. I've changed my mind, hence the private group chat." So hold on, let me get this straight. John is in a private group chat with a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds planning to release a document about 2 teenagers sexting on Easter Sunday. That's fucking weird, man. May I remind you, this is the guy who told people to touch grass?
Hey, commentary community. I'm outside right now touching some grass. I think you guys could all take...
John Swan sounds like someone trying to impersonate Christian. Am I the only one who hears it?
Hey, commentary community. I'm outside right now touching some grass.
Yeah.
I think
I'm exactly right. Incredible.
you guys could all take a little bit of advice from that.
Deadass, bro.
Remember,
Deadass.
the internet isn't as serious as you may think it is. You may think a lot of the things hold more weight than they really do. Try and get outside. Touch some grass sometime.
Shut the fuck up. This document ended up catching the attention of Destiny, who
My wife just said that they went out to eat and everything sucked, and they took her drink before she was finished. Incredible.
after criticizing it, linked it back to John. And John Swan, being the serial liar that he is, would go on livestream to deny everything.
What's up, John Swan? How you doing, dude?
My name was like brought up here like a few times.
What's
going
up,
on?
John
You know
Swan?
what? You gotta respect his commitment to the act. Oh, guys, I got no clue what's going on here. Why is my name even popping up?
Were you involved in the creation of a document against...
Yo, the reality is that like if John just kept making content, nobody would care. Most people that consume him probably don't give a shit about the commentary community bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just being honest with you. It wouldn't matter. And that's, I mean, I guess that's probably empowering to him if you ever listen to that, but it's kind of true.
Cammy?
That's a
I
yes.
I was not directly involved. In that
Oh,
at
God.
all.
This is a bold-faced lie. And what better way to get the full story than to interview Liz herself?
My friends, I told them about Cam, and they're like, "This is bad. Why aren't you stopping it?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, so you kind of were like talked into it because people were telling you that it was like a red flag.
Yeah, basically.
So what made you go to John?
Well,
Well, he was such a cute older guy, and imagine John did this just to get the cam away from her because he actually loved her. John, is that true? Did you truly love this girl? Did love compel you to be a piece of shit? Is that what just fucking happened, dude?
I have a personal account where like I post about my mood and stuff, so I was kind of feeling down about it because you know people kept on telling me about it, and I was just like, "Is this true? I don't know." So like, A-Star hit me up in DMs and it's like,
Fuck is A-Star?
asking me like what's going on. Whatever.
Aster?
And so I tell him about it, and he's like, "Did you try telling John Swan or anybody like that?" And I was like, "No, should I?"
When you went to John, were you going to him for advice?
Yeah, advice.
Here's the amazing advice that John Swan gave her. Okay, there are two ways you can go with this. One, I believe, is a lot better than the other, but they both have upsides and downsides to it. Liz says, all right. And John goes, option one is you stay completely anonymous and you...
So can we just like pretext this because I kind of know what they're already going to say? Okay. So this is one of the things that like gets annoying when people talk about grooming and shit on the internet. First and foremost, and this is how you know that John Swan has, and most of these people probably don't, but John Swan has no fucking idea what he's talking about. If you have somebody who may have been like actually groomed, okay, we would assume that there could be some trauma attached to it, right? Probably would be. Now, it might not have manifested itself yet because, you know, they're just experiencing it. They don't even know what happened. But down the line, for sure. So I know this sounds kind of fucked up, but compelling somebody to come forward, if they're not necessarily ready, can be something that's like overstepping for that person. It's like a delicate place, especially like a 15-year-old. So be like, this is what you got to do. This, that, and the other thing. You know what I mean? Like, you could really kind of nay-nay yourself there. So, or you could nay-nay that kid. They're going to feel like a certain type of way. So, you know, the first thing he's like, okay, we got to expose this. I got to monetize the channel. We're not going to say any bad words for the first 2 minutes so I can make my bag.
Have upsides and downsides to it. Liz says, all right. And John goes,
listen,
option one.
If you're a video essayist and you don't know what content to make, just make a fucking reaction channel and watch your friends' videos or something and try to make money that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a shit? Who fucking cares?
Is you stay completely anonymous and you have someone else write a Google Doc on your behalf. Option two is you release something yourself, maybe in conjunction with someone else's document or with your own. What kind of advice is that? How is that the only two options? Okay, kid, you've just been groomed. You got two options. Option one, you write a document. Option two, you write a
video essayist. Very funny. Essayist. Very funny. That comment right there. Boom. Pogger. Very good. Very funny. But maybe chuckle internally. Not kidding.
document. I could think of a whole spectrum of options that doesn't involve writing a Google Doc.
Spectrum of options? Are you insulting autistic people? That's fucked up. People with autism, sorry.
And posting it to Twitter. The most obvious one being to tell her parents. There's no way Liz's parental guardians look at this situation and go, you know what? I think the best option here is to take this to Twitter. Bro, this guy said he wasn't involved in the creation of the document when he literally gave her the idea.
Were you involved in the creation of a document against Cammy?
That's a
I
yes.
I was not directly involved. With that,
Oh, God.
no.
To make matters worse, John would later admit in a call with Cammy that he never even read all the messages before advising Liz to write the doc.
I read the document in a call with a few different people, and there was a few DMs in there that sort of like made like that sort of like broke the narrative apart that you guys are like trying to like paint. So she was comfortable with this like a few days ago, and then she goes and makes a document about it. Okay, I think that's. I
don't remember this message you're talking about.
It was. I mean, I can try and find an archive.
I may not have. To be fair, I did not read all of them.
He would go on to tell someone else that he only read about 40% of the messages because he wasn't involved in the creation of the doc, so he had no reason to. So this girl comes to John for advice on a potential grooming situation. She sends him the evidence. He says he'll take a look at it. John comes back later and tells her, this is grim. He's taken advantage of you. And then he later admits to the guy the document was written on that he didn't look at all the evidence. That is so fucked.
I may not have. To be fair, I did not read all of them.
Wow. But it gets worse. You see, John was always a little bit worried that this whole thing could blow back on him, so he gave ownership of the document to his next best man.
I'm gonna be honest about the involvement that I had in this was so extremely minimal, and the reason that it was so minimal is because I didn't want to fuck up something like this again. That's the reason I didn't want any involvement. I gave this to other people.
The other people John gave this to was a 15-year-old YouTuber named Haha Yeah.
I'm 15.
Did you write the doc, Haha Yeah?
I helped write the document.
John's like, I don't know, this situation, it's a bit too complicated for me.
See, this is the problem with things like the Hunger Games. Okay, now you might be like, Papa, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, Hunger Games is about kids saving the world from adults. Okay, now you got 15-year-olds running around like internet like fucking social justice warriors that are here to defend the day and defeat the evil groomers. And look what's happening. Oh, what happened? What did we find out? Oh, 15-year-olds are idiots. Holy shit. You know who else are idiots? 16-year-old, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that point, you start to become less of an idiot. Okay? So, I did win the Hunger Games. Thank you. That was a very funny joke about my weight.
Let me hand it off to a 15-year-old.
I didn't go in and like change things in the middle. I didn't help them.
Is this the 15-year-old? The hipster? Tipster? Why does Tipster have so many fucking accounts on Twitter? I'm so confused. Also, what's going on with the hose? What's up with the hose? What is the drama going on with Tipster? What's going on with that? Also, Tipster said he doesn't masturbate to hentai porn. You're a liar. Who doesn't? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, who doesn't do that? That's like psychotic. Hose. Jose and Hose B. You get it? It's a joke I didn't really set up for.
Write it. Like anything that was significant, I did not have any involvement in it. Any edits I made were aesthetic purely.
John was pretty much caught at this point, so he had to backpedal his defense from I didn't help create the doc to I didn't write the doc. But as it turns out, he did play a role in writing it. He was just being such a sneaky little weasel, trying to hide it, asking people to remove his name from the doc, hoping no one would link it back to him. Unfortunately for John, Google Docs saves the names of everybody who makes edits, so we can see exactly what he wrote. And what do you know? It turns out John did write pretty important parts of the document, rewriting entire paragraphs to make Cammy sound like some sort of horrible predator. Here's Liz's original version of that legendary third paragraph. After this continued, he made jokes and started liking it after I asked him if he did. He continued on and tried asking me if it was okay multiple times. He's aware of my age, by the way, so he kept asking if it was weird or not, and I told him I didn't think it was that weird. I really didn't think much of it. As he continued, he said he was very hard. You could say he basically told me he was pleasured by what I was saying to him.
He was very hard. Whoa. What the fuck?
Here's how John rewrote that. Cam used me for his own sexual pleasure when I was in a vulnerable state. Whoa. When did she ever say she was in a vulnerable state? And what about Cam asking if it was okay? We're just gonna leave that part out now? He knew what he was doing was wrong, comparing his actions to those of people who have been canceled in the community.
The reason you probably asked if it was okay was because, like, in the real world, this probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but in the Twitter world, it is. So he's like, is this okay? I just don't know. Now, it's a little weird to ask a kid if... That's a little bizarre. Hey, kid, do you know if this is okay? Like, you know, but... Because he's, what, 3 years older than her? So, you know, it's a little bizarre, but at the same time, who cares? Like, it's really not that big of a deal. It just really isn't.
He says how I made him happy. He called me cute. He said I was his darling. He made me feel appreciated and loved. But all he ever wanted was sexual pleasure. He used me to get what he wanted. I'm ashamed I ever took part in any of it. John changed Liz's statement to make it sound as predatory as possible, leaving out crucial details such as Cammy asking for consent, checking in on Liz to see if she thought it was weird. John also gave instructions on the doc and DMs. I feel like the doc is missing a conclusion, kind of like something holding him accountable. The conclusion of this document is some of the most embarrassing shit I've ever seen.
How would you know how would you even know if you didn't read the whole thing? What the whole story, like how you'd be able to get your superstar ending if you did, I would imagine, but you know.
The content of these messages are incredibly upsetting and disturbing. At the very least, cringe. Hold on.
Why are we conflating cringe to disturbing? This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody, like, nowadays on the internet, the word weird is somehow interchangeable with, like, fucking rape or something. It's crazy. Like, oh, a 30-year-old and like a 20-year-old, that's a little weird. So now that means that they're raping them. Or a 30-year-old and a 19-year-old. You know what I mean? I think it's weird. I think it's immature. But, like, that's assault. Like, that's horrible. It's crazy.
One of those things is not like the others. It is not upsetting, it is not disturbing, but yes, two socially awkward teenagers trying to flirt is cringe. But what is more disturbing is that Cam demonstrated multiple times that he knew what he was doing was wrong. Again, Cammy asking multiple times if Liz is okay with it, or if that she thinks it's weird at any point, is a good thing. I don't know why that's being weaponized against him, but he did it all anyway, setting himself up to continue.
He's doing the right thing. He's creating a space for her to feel comfortable to say no in case that she wants to. Like, that's literally that's like the top tier #1 like educational thing that you're supposed. That's the best thing to advocate for nowadays. Like, that's what we need more of, and he's doing the right thing. And over here comes John Swan. Gotta save the day. I gotta pee so bad. Hold on a second.
Continue this pattern of behavior if not called out. What pattern of behavior? He's talking to a girl. You know, normal people have a word for that. It's called dating. Liz met this person in a moment of personal weakness in the wake of a relationship that had ended, and Cam moved in to take advantage of Liz while ignoring everything that was so obviously wrong. This doc completely fails to explain what was so obviously wrong. It shows no examples of Liz asking him to stop, or that she's uncomfortable, or that she doesn't want to do it anymore. Even as this document is written, April 17th, 2022, Cam is talking flirtatiously with Liz and calling her cute. Oh shit, we better call the fucking police. There is no room for this kind of behavior from someone someone who wants to grow a platform in this community. This is the one part of the document I completely agree with. As commentary channels, we pride ourselves on being incel virgins, so even just talking to a woman should be enough to get you canceled. Let's bring it back to John Swan. This guy wasn't just involved in the creation of the document. He's the only reason it exists. John advised a 15-year-old girl to make a document and post it to Twitter without even fully reading the evidence she sent him.
I may not have, to be fair, I did not read all of them.
John Swan, who wasn't so sure he could handle this thing, then decides to put another 15-year-old in charge of writing the document for her.
I didn't want any involvement. I gave this to other people.
I'm 15. I helped write the document.
John then claimed he didn't write any of the doc. His changes were only aesthetic.
Like, I didn't write anything.
You know what's interesting? If your line of logic is you think that like a 15-year-old can't really properly consent to an 18-year-old, which is what you're saying when it comes to like sex, why do you think that a 15-year-old can consent to a 20-year-old when it comes to like the passing down of like a sensitive topic? Does that make sense? Also, why would you want to give it to somebody so immature to handle this topic? Like, I don't understand, if it's such a serious thing to you, why? Like, what it sounds like is this guy was trying to like get this to be exposed so he can make a video about it. Like, I don't understand, because he had to have known that he shouldn't like attach himself to it the way that he's like treating it.
Any involvement. Any edits I made were aesthetic purely.
Even though the 2 paragraphs he played a role in writing are 2 of the most accusatory of Cammy. But what if I told you this somehow got worse? You see, leading up to the document's release, John seemed really excited to ruin this 18-year-old's life. He messaged big YouTubers like Dumpy, telling him that Cammy's a groomer. He apparently hyped this up so much that John's friend and fellow 100K YouTuber Dr. Skipper tweeted, "Anyone want to reserve a seat for the shit show?" When the document dropped, Dr. Skipper wrote "Happy Easter," adding Cammy. John Swan would tweet memes, one depicting
Why did these people also think that this was that bad? Like, were they a little bit complicit in some capacity? Why would? Because it sounds like a little bit.
Cammy turning into Jeffrey Epstein. Can you imagine these big YouTubers you're a fan of getting involved in your relationship life, tweeting about it, hyping up a document, calling you a groomer? That's fucking traumatizing. I respect Dumpy a lot here, because when he saw it, he was just like, huh? But Dr. Skipper, man, what is this? You're tweeting, promoting this bullshit, sending Cammy McDonald's applications? He's being such a pussy too. Instead of apologizing, he tweets, "I'm just going to keep making videos and keep my head in the sand. I don't even know what's happening anymore." You knew exactly what was happening. You're only saying that because it started to blow back on John. You owe Cammy a public apology. This was messed up. John Swan, much like he did with Pie Man a year earlier, would post a series of apologies, when in reality, it's just a bunch of lies and excuses. John, now in a panic, decides to call Cammy, leading to Cammy posting, "I talked to John Swan. He and I talked things out, and he apologized. I can confirm he's not the puppet master you all think he is, since he's shown me evidence which proves he had very little involvement in the doc. I'd appreciate if you all leave him be. It's not even like..."
Damn, he tried to ruin this guy's life, and then he got that guy to support his bullshit, like the bullshit narrative. You manipulated an 18-year-old boy into thinking he was wrong.
An hour later, when Cammy updates us, I deleted the tweet because
bro, like, what? How manipulative do you got to be, bro, for like this guy to be like, oh, John created the document and pushed it, but he's like, oh, well, he's a nice guy. This guy that tried to ruin my life, I think he's still a nice guy. It's fucking crazy.
People behind the scenes, and according to eyewitness accounts, I was lied to. Oh, shocker, whoa, John Swan lied? Cammy, you have to be shocked. Now, Cammy isn't stupid. Cammy did record John Swan's apology, and he leaked it. In the 1 hour and 25-minute call,
Nice.
John does say "I'm sorry," but he is always quick to shift the blame to Liz, making himself out to be the victim.
I feel really fucking terribly about it, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, short of just telling her to fuck off, I'm not sure what I would have done differently. Yeah, I don't know. I feel really fucking...
What? Why would you tell a 15-year-old to fuck off? Wouldn't you just be like, oh, I don't think it's that inappropriate, your age range. It might be a little weird, but it's fine. You could have said something like that. Why would you say that? Because I could have swore that, like, when he was in there, he was telling people, when he was talking, like, when he was in that Destiny conversation, he was telling people, he was like, I think that this is horrible. Will you get beat up in the streets by me? I was like, well, streets of what, bro? Fuck you talking about?
I don't know how to describe this or put it into words. I feel like... I don't know why she just, like...
You feel lied to.
Very much so.
I was so manipulated by a 15-year-old. How old are you? 20. She fucking really got me. She really got me.
I don't want to fucking victim blame, though. I don't want to be like...
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't want to do.
Well, the thing is, everyone's a victim here but you, brother. So you cannot help but victim blame. Unless you just blamed yourself.
It's really difficult, man. I don't want to come out and say it's all her fucking fault, because we do have some level of accountability on our shoulders. But
bro, you are the sole dude. You can't even have this perspective. John Swan's a real victim. Yeah, your whole thing is you're going off on a fucking tangent about how an 18-year-old is older than a fucking 15-year-old, so that it's like it's wrong. But then you're the 20-year-old. You should be the responsible party. How are you gonna put blame on a 15-year-old? By your own logic, you think that she's too dumb to do anything because she's a kid. It's crazy.
fuck me, man. She really had it. Like, she had us on a fucking wild goose chase with this shit. Like, from the very fucking beginning.
Wow,
John is just straight
incredible.
up lying to Cammy. At this point, we all know Liz didn't come to that decision on her own.
She did come to the decision on her own. So,
It doesn't even really matter. No, well, she didn't. That's dumb. Holy shit.
yeah, this was when she wanted to go public.
John claims Liz came to this decision on her own. Well, the DMs he's currently showing is him clearly convincing her that she was groomed. Thanks so much, Liz. I'll take a look at these later. Referring to the messages between Liz and Cammy. Hey, Liz, I read through pretty much every screenshot, which is weird because later in the same call, John tells Cammy that he didn't read all the messages.
I may not have, to be fair, I did not read all of them.
Again, he told somebody else that he only read about 40% of them. So I don't know, maybe he's lying again. I've read through pretty much every screenshot. Really grim stuff. Really? I thought so. I mean, dude, that's you telling her that she was groomed. How does he deny this? What's your goal with this then? I heard you want to go public? I want to, I just don't want to lose Ken. It's
The way that this shoots out is like how my piss shoots out. Like it's like short bursts, like piss, like a morning piss. Like just a little bit here, a little bit there. Shit.
like I don't know why I'm so attached. I have major attachment issues and terrible mental health. The attachment with Cam is him taking advantage of you. I read the screenshots. He initiated everything first. Only John could write that.
Well, it's true. If he did somehow groom her, which he didn't, yeah, there would be an attachment, you know, like a little, you know, trauma bonding. I don't know, something like that.
And then later try to blame this whole thing on Liz. Cammy then suggests
so.
that John should post a public apology for how he handled things. And John just ignores him.
Dude, after the dream shit, everyone wants a reason to fucking ruin me. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter whether I was involved or not.
Well,
They'll want any
wizard
fucking
monkey.
reason. And
So
they'll run with it
003.
regardless of what it is. Like,
Actually,
I really
023.
did my best, and I still fucked it up. So,
Yeah, well, you're an idiot. So.
I don't know.
You're a fucking
But yeah,
moron.
people will just run with whatever. Like, it's just completely
John
fucked.
Swan.
Maybe
the
I mean I don't know.
ultimate
Maybe like apologizing to me publicly could be something you could do, but I don't really know how much that would like flip public. I don't really imagine that you care that much.
That's true.
No, I do care.
He doesn't care at all. You got him.
It's why I called you. Obviously, I do care.
You got him. You called him because he wanted to run damage control. It's the real reason that he called him.
Like, I care very much because I basically started off this thing and I was lied to, essentially.
No, you weren't, dude. I don't know how John keeps saying that. It becomes
I was manipulated by a 15-year-old. What is this, fucking Home Alone? What the hell's the matter with you?
psychopathic at a certain point. John then tells Cammy to post a tweet saying that John apologized and that they worked things out, even though all John did was blame Liz.
You don't have to do this. You can, I don't want to, like, fucking pressure you to doing that, but maybe would you be okay with, like, saying that we kind of spoke and talked things out?
Yeah, sure.
Real quick, I want to recap one last time just so John's involvement in all of this is perfectly clear. Liz entered a relationship with Cammy that had full consent from both sides. Liz told her friends about it, who convinced her that Cammy must be grooming her.
I've had people.
And keep in mind that, like, it wasn't just consensual. Like, the age ranges are fine. Like, that's another thing I think is really important to bring up. So, you know.
Around me be like,
Because
hey,
even if it was, like, consensual, like, if it was in an age range where like you couldn't consent, like it doesn't matter if it's willing, it doesn't make it consensual, but it's in the age range is fine. So
it's bad. And I'm like, are you sure it is? And they're like, yes.
A-Star then told Liz to go to John for advice. When she did, she provided John with all of the evidence, which John said he read, but would later tell Cammy he didn't. John then tells Liz that her message
I like how in this small group of people they think that John Swan is like the moral authority here. Like, go to John Swan, he'll know if this is right or wrong. I'm too fucking stupid to make up my own mind, which is true. They're young, so it's in their defense. But holy shit.
Cammy is really grim stuff, and that Cam was taking advantage of her. He tells Liz she has two options, both of which involve writing a document and posting it to Twitter. John messages other YouTubers telling them that Cammy's a groomer. He makes memes comparing Cammy to Epstein. When the document drops, people start reading the same evidence Liz provided John, and quickly realize that this is not grooming. In fact, there is nothing wrong with any part of the messages sent, yet the document frames Cammy as a predator who needs to be held accountable. John then quickly deletes his tweets, now claiming that he had nothing to do with the creation of the document.
Were you involved in the creation of a document against Cammy?
That's a
I
yes.
I was not directly involved.
Oh, God.
Even though he told Liz that was her only option, and then he put the other 15-year-old in charge to help write it.
I'm 15.
Once John was caught lying about this, he quickly changed his story to, okay, I was involved in creating the document, but I didn't write any of the document. The only changes I made were aesthetic.
Any edits I made were aesthetic purely. It was nothing meat and potatoes.
Okay.
That's what I mean
Meat
when I
potatoes
say I didn't
sounds
write a
pretty
word
good
of it.
right now.
Because I really didn't. Like, I didn't write anything.
It's then discovered that John was rewriting entire paragraphs to make them sound way worse than initially
I didn't write anything. I just left the blame for everybody else.
stated, even giving specific instructions stating that the conclusion of the doc should hold Cammy accountable. John, now being caught at every lie, every corner, then decides to jump in a call with Cammy, and even though he does apologize, he mostly pushes the blame on Liz, saying she lied to him when she didn't.
I was lied to, essentially.
He then convinces Cammy to post a bullshit tweet saying John apologized when really all he
Like,
did
what
was shift
the
blame.
question here is, what's the lie? What's the lie that she told you? lie about the age? It does. What's the lie that she could have told you? Like, seriously, what the fuck is what's the lie? Because, like, let's say she came at you and thought this was grooming. You amplifying it when she's wrong, that's just your fault. You could just say, like, yeah, this is not true. Like, it's okay. It's fucking crazy.
Saying John wasn't involved in the creation of the doc. See, John wasn't just involved in writing the doc. He is the doc. It's so screwed up. How do you not feel for Cammy? It's bad enough to have her messages leak online like that, but to then have some of your favorite YouTubers talk about it, tweet about it, create a document calling you a groomer. It's not just the lying that's the problem with John. He's proven to be downright malicious.
So bye bye, Miss American Pie.
Pie Man, yes, the 15-year-old John tried to pin as a pedophile 1 year ago. If you remember, John supposedly apologized to Pie Man, which Pie Man claims wasn't much of an apology at all. Well, as it turns out, John has held this against Pie Man and has been plotting his downfall for most of last year. Here's some of the leaked calls.
It doesn't matter to these people. They'll just keep on going.
Honestly, it's just cringe.
Anyway, if Pie Man wants to continue saying that I never apologized to him, then I might need to do a nuclear moment, but I don't want to. I don't want to have to go nuclear, but if it...
Guys, if he doesn't stop telling people hey guys, I did a wrong thing to this guy. He keeps telling people I didn't really apologize, so I'm gonna ruin his life. And it's his fault now. I fucked him originally, but now it's his fault for not getting over it. So now I'm gonna take him down. The logic is incredible here.
If the opportunity requires it, I will.
It looks incredibly bad for him, incredibly good for me. There is almost no framing that looks bad for me, that call. It's pretty bad for Pine, and we can listen to it later, the full thing. But I feel like if we want to do this, there's only one way. You create a new Twitter account with a number that none of you have registered, so we get someone else to make a Google Voice number or something, and then we leak it through that, so it has no ties to literally anyone. And then we leave it for like ages, and then all of a sudden people start retweeting it out of nowhere, because you could just say you found it through like Twitter search or something.
Wow, what a piece of shit. They want to release a document that like ruins this person anonymously, wait a couple of months, and then signal boost it saying you randomly found it, and it's very revealing. Wow, you're such a nice... What a piece of fucking scum trash garbage.
And that's probably the best way for you to do it. At least the way I thought about it.
So John Swan, the known liar, is planning yet another lie to try and get back at Pie Man. As for the apology itself, I have no clue why you would want to leak something that makes him look so bad. Just like the call with Cammy, John does apologize, but instead of just owning up, he preaches at Pie Man.
There's one thing though, I still don't understand why you sent that message, and you don't have to tell me, and you don't have to say anything about that. I keep on running through scenarios in my head about that message, and I don't know why you sent that. But I don't know, man. I still, that was still a fucking strange message, man. And I think a lot of us can say that was fucking strange. And then okay, so with the Twitter stuff, I did clarify. Okay, I will say this because the tweets are gone now. But I do remember writing a tweet that specifically said, like, clarified in clear, plain English, and it got maybe 20 likes or something, that you are not a pedophile. I don't know if you remember that at all, but I did say that.
No, I think I remember it.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
Yes.
So that's one thing that didn't make it in your video, which I would have liked to see, but obviously you didn't have screenshots of it, so I
should have put it in there. I guess in my mind I thought you were, sort of speaking out of both sides of your mouth, saying I'm not a pedo, and like I believed you were sort of insinuating it in other tweets.
Get fucking wrecked.
Or what the fuck? I just finished this thing. I just did magic monkeys on this map, and it didn't register. Oh, it's a different map. Never mind. Shh, don't tell anybody something.
I heard from people that I know that you never really took a proper break from social media because you were still liking my tweets because I saw the notifications for them, and then you unliked them later. Okay? I caught you in 4K liking the tweets a number of times while you were supposed to be on break.
You really got him, John. Great job, dude. Here's the...
I don't understand. Like, what's the harm there? Well, you didn't take enough of a break. Like, he's the asshole. I'm so fucking confused, bro. This doesn't make any sense.
Thing. It's not just Pie Man John's out to get. It's anyone who calls him out. He's messaging people. All these guys just have vendettas against me. Jaco hates me because he betrayed my trust. Aiden has a grudge against me because he leaked one of Augie's things one time. That doesn't even make any sense. It's like, bro, if you want people to stop calling you out, stop doing shady ass shit. How do I wrap up a video like this? I guess if I were to give John any advice, it would be the same thing I told him 1 year ago. How about you stop fucking with kids? Be a goddamn adult. Like, dude, what is some of this stuff I'm hearing? You just spent all day in Discord talking to 15-year-olds?
John definitely talked to like a disproportionate amount of kids. I'm not saying he's like a pedo, right? But I think at the beginning it was more like, I think it was like mainly 15-year-olds.
I can't think of a more sad and loser thing to do than watching porn in Discord to try and impress a bunch of teenagers.
He's gotta be huge. He's gotta be huge.
He's got no. Yeah, he is. Has to, right?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What is happening right now? He looks at porn with kids. This is fucking bizarre.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh.
Excuse me, with a blowjob loads, I can leave.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
It looks big. It looks massive.
Why are you doing this?
It's looking like 2 hands. Oh, it is a 2-hander.
Oh, it's fucking 8-9 inches. That. Oh fuck!
Wow.
It's massive.
It's a large lad.
That's not even fully erect.
On that note, I want to thank Aiden Projects and Jaco for busting this story wide open.
What
Bump
the
for
fuck
archiving
was
all the
that?
calls. I couldn't have done this without him. Anonymity, he really is this channel's secret weapon. And it turns out he makes great videos too. And of course, Mike the Bike for some of the parody music used here today. All right, John Swan.
Is John redeemable? No, I don't think so. At all. The problem is that he doesn't, there's no position where he made like a mistake. He didn't make a mistake. Everything was very intentional. So like he doesn't even genuinely think, I don't think that he even genuinely thinks this is an inappropriate age range. Because if he's instantly going like, oh sorry, they lied to me, that means that you don't, like, your only defensible position is like, hey, I'm really stupid and I'm 20 and I think that 18 and 15 is predatory. It's your best, that's it, it's all you have. But that's it. So
sing us out.
Just keep on talking line, cause I don't want to say goodbye.
hey, is this DMC? Oh fuck my ass! Holy shit! Is this DMC? Oh fuck me! Fuck my balls! Put it on my balls! Holy shit!
To the other side, close your eyes. We only talking.
Shout out to the homies over on Patreon.
All right, let's see.
Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Riveter, Dletchky Gothboy, Jack Mac, Christina Vina, Detective Pika, Mac Monkey, Drankobex, Bo Blacks, Necro Valley, Evan, and the mega homies, Reynold Hughes, Marissa Lynn, IGP, Hellison, Bold Boy Ajax, Yuri Pog, Jason Johnson, Your Taxi, Spartan McCowell, Free Spirit Katie, Lore Reloaded, Code 9, Papa Gut,
hey, there we are.
And Runben. These are the people that allow me to make the kind of content I want to make without having to worry about YouTube's monetization system. Hey guys, I just finished editing. It's not too often I finish a video and I'm still stunned by the incompetence you have to be to get in this situation. So you know what? John Swan wins. I'm done. I'm giving up.
It's feeding time and the Cobalt Cobra is very hungry. The dish? Cooked swan, to be served to the awaiting Leviathan. Dinner is ready. Fuck Swan, I prefer Goose. This greasy John just sits on Twitter with a new Google Doc every minute. Oh, it's the same lie posted every time, it's just slightly different. Yes, how original. Subs up in the 6 figures and this Muppet still has other sections for his videos. Isn't it kinda sad that you had to crack cause you lack talent and apparently can't be fucked to ask? You just got shreked by an aristocrat. 99-year-old man, what a joke. Still don't even know why you couldn't take a roast. That was fucking delicious. Eggs on toast. Bitch! Fucking
Wow, that was actually pretty good. It was surprisingly good. Okay. The song. The video was terrible. No, I'm just kidding. That was surprisingly good. Holy shit. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.